Hi everyone, my name is Manor and welcome back to Page Turners, which is our diverse book club for teens and young adults. Today we're going to be discussing the book Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Malinda Lo. But before we get started, I'm going to be listing some content and trigger warnings for you right here. And I will say that this video might contain some spoilers, so if you don't want any spoilers, now's your chance to click off the video. Okay, let's get into it. Last Night at the Telegraph Club takes place in 1950s San Francisco over 6 parts and focuses on our main character Lily Hu. Lily lives with her family in Chinatown, and we find out really early on that she's really into math and also into outer space. At school, she bonds with Kathleen, who is really interested in airplanes, and we can kind of see from the get-go that Lily has a lot of conflicting thoughts about her attraction to girls and other women. Lily gets invited to a picnic that's being hosted by a Chinese organization by her best friend Shirley. Shirley mostly attends because the boy that she likes, Calvin, is a part of that organization. Later on, Lily's parents end up telling her Calvin is one of her dad's patients at the hospital that he works at, and the organization that he's involved in apparently has communist ties. The FBI ends up taking Lily's dad's citizenship papers because he wouldn't confirm to the FBI if Calvin was a communist or not. At school, Kathleen finds a picture of a male impersonator named Tommy Andrews that Lily has been carrying around. She tells Lily that Tommy performs at the Telegraph Club and that Kathleen has been there before. Lily ends up getting a fake ID through Kathleen so that they can go, and while the experience is very overwhelming for Lily, she does end up enjoying it. They go back to the Telegraph Club a couple of times, and at the end of one of Tommy's performances, Lily finally confesses to Kathleen that she likes her and the feeling is definitely mutual. They end up sharing their first kiss right outside the club, and it's absolutely adorable. They also start to meet in secret at school, in between Lily helping Shirley with her Miss Chinatown contest committee, but their friendship definitely starts to take a turn for the worse from there. Lily and Kathleen end up going to the club once again, but this time it's unfortunately raided by the police. They get separated, the club shuts down, and Lily doesn't hear from Kathleen for a couple of days, and she gets really worried. An article in the paper comes out about the Telegraph Club and talks about how it's been under secret investigation because of how it lures girls into debauchery. Lily tries to be upfront with her mom about her going to the club, but her mom won't listen to her or believe her, saying that Lily is a good Chinese girl. In that same conversation, when Lily tries to be honest with her mom about her sexuality, her mom blows up on her and tells her there are no homosexuals in this family, which is so heartbreaking to read Lily experience that with her mom. She runs away for about a day and a half, and ends up crashing at Lana's apartment, who is Tommy's girlfriend. Lily's Aunt Judy ends up tracking her down and bringing her back home, and the story ends with Lily having to move to Pasadena with her Aunt Judy because her parents think that's what will be best for her. It's really sad to see that her parents think that if she moves away and removes herself from the situation that she'll get better, she'll change her mind, she just has to meet the right guy, she just has to get married, that this is just a phase. Even though we see that this is really who Lily is and Kathleen is who she loves. Overall, this book actually really surprised me with how much I liked it. I'm not usually a fan of historical fiction, but I think the added layers of race and the political climate at the time, alongside Lily trying to figure out her sexual identity, made for a really well-rounded book, especially with a main character who is Chinese American. This book also provides perspectives of her mom, her dad, and Aunt Judy when they're growing up, and I think that it's a really nice element that's added to it as well. I won't say how exactly this one ended, but I will promise that it is a happy ending of sorts. And this one is definitely worth checking out this month. I hope y'all enjoy it as much as I did, and we'll see you next time.